Let me now go across to my two guests who are joining me at this point to talk about both the medical aspect as well as the investigative angle. Dr. Sanjeev Bagai, of course, is chairperson of Nephron, is joining us at this point, and also Ved Bhushan, former Assistant Commissioner of Delhi Police, someone who has worked very closely with the Maharashtra Police as well. Thank you both, gentlemen, for joining me on this important story at this point. Dr. Bagai, we just heard, I'm sure you would have also caught part of that briefing coming in from doctors of the Lilavati Hospital, and you have been studying the case as well. Could you explain it to our viewers in detail? What were the injuries that were received by Saif Ali Khan, which was of particular, which was very critical, which required a surgery immediately by the Lilavati team?
Good afternoon. Very, very unfortunate incident. My prayers that the actor recovers soon and the family is with them. The real issue is that he had 6 stab wounds. These stab wounds, apparently one was at the lower part of the neck, upper part of the spine, what we call as the cervical spine, and apparently a small piece of metal was lodged there after the attack, and there were a couple of stab wounds elsewhere, including the arms and the neck. So the injuries could have been more grievous. It could have been fatal, in fact. If one of the neck vessels could have been lacerated, he could have bled to death. The arm could have been severely injured, or indeed, if he had a stab injury into the vital organs of the abdomen or the chest or the heart, it could have been even worse. But the spine injury requires a little bit of attention, because what the doctors over there have said is that the piece of metal was removed and there was a leak of the cerebrospinal fluid. That's the fluid which is inside the covering called as the meninges. So obviously that was ruptured. So that has been repaired and is being shifted to the ICU. So the main areas of concern in the next 48, 72 hours or 96 hours, 2 to 4 days, is to see his recovery as far as his motor and sensory function. That means his power and sensation in the limbs with regards to his breathing, making sure that there is no risk of infection, because there was a foreign object inside the spinal cord. I'm sure he'll be well covered with the antibiotics and other medication, and to make sure that there is no neurological deficit long term. So I think the recovery will be good, but the progress in terms of rehabilitation has to be formulated. It will take few weeks before full recovery. But
that was my next question, Dr. Bagai.
Ji.
That was my next question, Dr. Bagai, and please bear with me, Ved Bhushan sir, because I just wanted to understand the medical aspect completely before coming to you. Dr. Bagai, then on behalf of fans of the actor, or at least people who are very concerned about what could have happened to him, what is the approximate time frame we're looking at maybe discharge from the hospital to begin with, to a complete recovery? And how likely is it that Saif Ali Khan makes a complete recovery? Because to survive 6 stab wounds, 2 of them that serious, one very close to his cervical spine, is something that is nothing short of a miracle, from what I understand from what you have been telling us.
Absolutely. I think God has been kind and has saved him. So 3 parts to your question. One is the acute phase. So I think the stay in the hospital would be probably between 4 and 6 days, or even up to 6 to 7 days. 1 or 2 days extra in the hospital in terms of recovery and rest is always beneficial. The main issues are of twofold: making sure that there is no neurological deficit, which may manifest after a couple of days, so they have to keep a watch for it. And secondly, of course, is to make sure that there is no infection in the spine, because that can be very, very gruesome to fight in case the infection sets in. With regards to the rehab takes a few weeks in terms of movements of the muscles, movements of the spine, making sure that the muscles recover well. And last is with regards to his professional career. I think that will be a couple of months away. But what has been described by the doctors, his recovery has been termed as it will be full, which is very good news. Happy to hear that.
So, Dr. Bagai, just to sum up at this point, I think the next concern you're saying is to look in the next 2 or 3 days to evaluate him for any permanent neurological damage, and that would be important for an actor like Saif Ali Khan also, given the fact that, the line of work in which he is in, physical fitness and cosmetic fitness is something which is very important to his profession. So that will be a cause of concern for Saif Ali Khan's family.
Yeah, so I think cervical injury, especially rupturing the spinal cord and a metal object being lodged into the cerebrospinal fluid, what we call as CSF, area is a cause of concern irrespective of a person's profession. So I think the doctors there would be extremely competent to make sure that there is no ongoing neurological deficit. In case there is any, it will be picked up early, it will be treated early, and of course to make sure, like I keep saying, to make sure that there is no infection. Probably a very sharp object like a knife has been used. It's obviously not going to be disinfected. It will be maybe an old rusted knife, or it could be an infected object. So we have to make sure and safeguard for all kinds of.
All right, Dr. Bagai, thank you so much for getting us those updates. Feel free to stay on with us. Let me also get in now Mr. Ved Bhushan, who's been waiting quite patiently with us. Mr. Bhushan, from an investigative point of view, as someone who has worked with the Delhi police, has understood and dealt with, I'm sure, several of these VIP cases before, what strikes to you as the most absurd or the most striking aspect of this case? The fact, how is it possible that someone can enter the residence of one of Mumbai's most secure and protected individuals, one would assume, stab this said VIP to at least 6 times, and then abscond and is still not been caught, by the way?
Tangchu, it was a very professional attack. It's a planned attack, rather I can say, because you see this is a challenge for Mumbai police, because it's important to establish motive behind this murder, because there was some personal enmity, some financial issues, or some film industry related issues. Because as far as my knowledge is concerned, there is no threat perception to Saif Ali Khan or his family. Moreover, the mystery is that how the axis was decontrolled by the assailants. Pardon? Something is... can I continue, Tangshu?
All right, Mr. Bhushan, I think the police is giving us a statement. Let's listen in. I'll come back to you.
Okay, no issue.
काम कर रही है। ये इसमें एक एक्यूज्ड एक्टर के घर पे गया था, ऐसा इन्वेस्टिगेशन में पता चला है। एक्यूज्ड फायर एस्केप का यूज़ करके इनके घर पे गया था, ये भी पता चला है। अभी तक के इन्वेस्टिगेशन में ये एक चोरी का अटेम्प्ट था, ऐसा हमारे इन्वेस्टिगेशन में निष्पन्न हुआ है। एक्यूज्ड को जल्दी अरेस्ट करने की कोशिश हमारी चल रही है, और एक बार एक्यूज्ड अरेस्ट हो जाता है तो उसके बाद आगे के डिटेल्स ये हम आपसे डिस्क्लोज कर पाएंगे।
इसके पहले किया था क्या?
एक एक्यूज्ड आइडेंटिफाई हो चुका है, उसने स्टेयरकेस का यूज़ किया था, ये पता चला है। उस एक्यूज्ड को अरेस्ट करने के लिए टीम फील्ड पर है।
सीसीटीवी में कौन लोग दिख रहे हैं, कितने लोग दिख रहे हैं? सीसीटीवी में कौन दिख रहे हैं, कितने?
10 डिटेक्शन टीम्स हैं जो अलग अलग डायरेक्शंस में काम कर रही है। एक एक्यूज्ड है, वो एक्यूज्ड की मूवमेंट उस अपार्टमेंट में कल रात में ये इंसिडेंट्स के समय पे देखी गई है, और उस दिशा में इन्वेस्टिगेशन चल रहा है। स्टेयरकेस
बिल्डिंग में कैसे आया और घटना के बाद वो कैसे भागा? हाँ सर,
जो एक्यूज्ड है, इस एक्यूज्ड ने स्टेयरकेस का यूज करके ऑफेंस रजिस्टर हो चुका है मेंढरा पुलिस स्टेशन में। मराठीत बोलतो आता। काल रात्री अभिनेता सैफ अली खान यांच्या घरी जी घटना घडलेली आहे त्या अनुषंगाने एक आरोपी याने शिड्यांचा वापर करून बिल्डिंगमध्ये एंट्री करून शिड्यांचा वापर करून अभिनेता सैफ अली खान यांच्या घरी एंट्री केलेल्याचं निष्पन्न झालेलं आहे। तो एक्यूज चे डिटेल्स आम्हाला प्राप्त झालेले आहेत। त्या आरोपीला अटक करण्यासाठी 10 डिटेक्शनच्या टीम्स विविध ठिकाणी काम करत आहेत। लवकरच आरोपीला अटक करण्यात येईल आणि पुढचे डिटेल्स घेण्यात येतील.
क्या एक्टर को टारगेट किया जा रहा है? क्या बांद्रा में जो एक्टर रहते हैं उन लोगों को टारगेट किया जा रहा है? सलमान खान की बात करें,
प्रायमरी या आत्ताच्या तपासामध्ये असं निष्पन्न होत आहे की हा जो आरोपी आहे याने चोरीच्या उद्देशाने अभिनेता सैफ अली खान यांच्या घरी प्रवेश केलेला आहे आणि आरोपी अटक होताच पुढचे डिटेल्स डिस्क्लोज करतात.
सर तो आठवडाभर पूर्वी तो कुठे सीसीटीव्ही फुटेज मध्ये आढळला आहे का?
रेकी किया है कैसे?
अरे भाई भेटो ना.
सध्याचं प्रायमरी फोकस आरोपीला अटक करण्यात आहे. आरोपी लवकर अटक करण्यात येईल. आरोपीला अटक केल्यानंतर पुढच्या सगळ्या गोष्टी निष्पन्न होतील आणि ते डिस्क्लोज करण्यात येतील. थँक्यू.
ऑडियो सुन कोडी ऑडियो सुन.
All right, so Ved Bhushan ji, you just heard the statement coming in from the Mumbai police. They are saying that this was an attempt at burglary which took a wrong turn because the accused was confronted by Saif Ali Khan and therefore lashed out at him physically with a knife. Do you buy that theory or that explanation coming in from the cops?
This officer is saying that one person is arrested in this case. Arrest means they have some conclusive evidence against this person who was involved in this case. The most important thing to establish the motive behind this, whether it was a robbery, whether it was a planned attack or something else, because it's the most important thing to recovery of weapon, from which he got the 6 injuries on his spine or somewhere on body. Or moreover, the CCTV footage, he's telling that he was scaling some staircase or something like that. So it is the responsibility of Mumbai police to establish this case beyond doubt so that public can faith in the Mumbai police. Moreover, I personally very much thankful to that at least very fast they conducted the investigation, because this case took around midnight, 2 o'clock in the night, and by this time they arrested one person. I think Mumbai police is a professional police. You see in the Sushant Rajput case, even CBI was implanted in this case, but CBI is the same on version as the Mumbai police. So we had to wait for the investigation because lot of things to be investigated, all the call details, all the blood stains, whatever the FSL team or forensic team collects, call details, CCTV footage, and all the interrogation of security guards, neighbors, all the where from these persons accused, arrested, were connected with some gang or some personal, because maid angle is also being interrogated. Or moreover, somebody is saying that 3 persons were detained in this case. Who the other 2 persons remaining, whether they were linked in this case or not, because this is suspects when they are being detained by the police, they have some conclusive evidence against the persons. Let us wait, because it's a very high profile case. All the social media across the world are waiting the outcome of the investigation, and it's a challenge for the Mumbai police or the investigating agency.
Indeed,
As you told that
yes,
around 15 teams
we don't want to encourage any sort of speculation or jump to any conjunctures at this point. But my final question, Mr. Bhushan, firstly, I think from what I understand, our reporters are also telling us the police statement says that the accused has been identified. He has not been apprehended yet, so he is still not in custody, but they have identified him, so one would assume that an arrest is just a matter of time. My final question to you, Ved Bhushan ji, is, because we touched upon the politics which is going on over this, is that many people are saying that this was an embarrassing security lapse. Now, to my understanding, a celebrity like Saif Ali Khan's security will be comprising of the security given to him by the state in form of a police cover as well as his own personal security. Do you see this as a security lapse? And if so, would you say that the responsibility of this lapse falls more on the Mumbai police or onto Saif Ali Khan's own personal security and staff, assuming that someone did indeed let this intruder inside the house?
Primarily, what I feel, it's not a police lapse on behalf, because there, in Mumbai city, there are thousands of big, high-profile film industry or hero or heroines, producer, directors are living. It's very difficult to provide a personal security to everyone until and unless there is a complaint, there is some apprehension of some attack from any corner of society. So it's moreover, it's hardly 2 kilometers far from Bandra police station, and he can call any time to the police. Or moreover, he has personal security guard, personal security system, and he is living in the very high profile area, because he was living on the 10th or 12th floor, I think, and it's very difficult to reach on a very not it's very easy to reach any simple person. Some insider is there who called these persons, or some facilitate these persons to come and attack on the Saif Ali Khan. What was the reason? But whether it was a theft case, robbery case, kidnapping issue, or some other issue, which will be investigated by the police, and very soon police will disclose all the things related to the attack on Saif Ali Khan, and what went wrong. It will be decided or investigated by the police.
Okay.
And very soon, I am very trustful to the Mumbai police, that they are very capable police of department, and they will unreveal all the facts, all related issues, all the evidences collected by the local police, or because lot of police crime branch is investigating this case, because crime branch is very high profile. You see that there are a lot of shooters and all that in the Mumbai police, and I am very much hopeful by the evening of today, all the facts will come emerge in the social media, to you, to me, and entire film industry, all India, wherever the Saif Ali Khan's believers and followers live, they will get all the information very soon. And by the great God grace, his outcome of the injuries, as the doctor is telling, that he is saved, and that there is nothing danger to his life. God bless him.
Okay, all right.
And this is the stake for police, and it's no doubt it's a challenge for the Mumbai police.
Yes,
But I am
indeed.
still
As
hopeful
Dr.
that
Bagai also
this
pointed
case
out,
will
God
be
has been very
worked out.
kind to Saif Ali Khan, and we can only hope that he makes a swift and, more importantly, a complete recovery for the sake of his family, more importantly, and also for his fans as well. Thank you so much, Dr. Bagai and Vedbhushan ji. It was a pleasure to have you on the show to try and understand the important aspects of this case so far from the health and the investigative point of view, because